The city pulsed with restless energy as dusk draped its veil across the skyline. Neon lights flickered awake one by one, casting reflections on the glass towers. Cars rushed like streams of steel, honking, screeching, filling the streets with an endless chorus of noise. Amidst this chaos, a convoy crawled forward, sleek, black vehicles gliding with calculated precision, their tinted windows concealing the world inside. At the heart of that convoy sat Ibrahim. To the people of the city, his name was a shadow. Some whispered it with reverence, others with fear. Deals, decisions, destinies, many believed they rested in his hands. Yet at that very moment, Ibrahim was not the figure of iron everyone imagined. He sat in silence, shoulders heavy, eyes dimmed with exhaustion. Today's mission, one he had pinned his hopes on, had failed. The power he wielded had brought no victory. And so, the convoy rolled back, empty-handed. The driver cleared his throat gently. "Sir, in a few minutes, we'll cross Main Street. After that, straight to the residence." Ibrahim only nodded. His lips did not part. The silence inside the car was as thick as the evening air outside. The convoy halted at a large intersection. Red light. The engines purred, waiting for permission to move. Ibrahim leaned slightly, eyes drifting to the window. And there, across the blur of headlights and restless crowd, he saw something, or rather, someone, that froze his breath. An old man. He stood fragile, hunched, as if his body bore the weight of years too cruel to count. In his hands was a worn paper bag, slipping again and again through his trembling fingers. People pushed past him without care. Then, out of nowhere, a motorcyclist swerved and shouted harshly, "Move, old man, or I'll crush you under my wheels." The old man flinched, stumbling back. The bag tore open, spilling scraps and papers onto the dirty street. A ripple of laughter escaped from onlookers. Others gave fleeting glances of pity but kept walking. For Ibrahim, time slowed. His gaze latched onto those papers scattering like fallen leaves. One piece fluttered close to his car window. A photograph. Faded, cracked, but painfully familiar. His chest tightened. He whispered to himself, "No, it can't be." "Stop," Ibrahim said suddenly. The driver blinked. "Sir?" "I said stop." Ibrahim's voice cut sharp through the hum of engines. The car screeched gently to a halt. Guards tensed, ready to jump out. But Ibrahim raised a firm hand. "No. Stay inside." He opened the door himself and stepped onto the pavement. The noise of the city fell away. For the first time in years, Ibrahim felt the air raw against his face. He bent down, gathering the scattered sheets, receipts yellowed with age, diary pages torn at the edges, fragments of a life clinging desperately to memory. Then his hand paused on the photograph. A trembling voice broke the silence. "Son, please, that photograph. Give it to me. It's my boy's." Ibrahim looked up. The old man's face was etched with lines of suffering, his eyes a pool of fading hope. Ibrahim's breath trembled. He held the photo up, his own reflection staring back at him through time. "This is your son?" he asked. The old man's lips curved into the weakest of smiles. "Yes, lost to me many years ago." His name was Ibrahim. The world around Ibrahim spun. His lips quivered, and in a voice that cracked, he whispered, "Baba, it's me. I am Ibrahim." The papers slipped from the old man's hand, scattering once more. His knees wavered as tears surged, blurring his sight. "You, my Ibrahim?" Ibrahim rushed forward, catching his father's arm, holding him steady. Decades of emptiness collapsed in that one embrace. The guards watched in stunned silence. Passers-by stopped, their chatter fading. Something about the moment commanded reverence. Ibrahim turned his head sharply and said, "Stay back. This is my father." He guided the old man gently to the car. Inside, silence fell again, but this time, it was sacred, not heavy. As the convoy moved, Ibrahim clutched his father's frail hands. "Baba, where were you all these years? How did you disappear?" The old man's voice cracked like dry leaves. "Life pushed me away, son. Poverty, shame, illness. I thought if I stayed, I'd only drag you down. So I chose the shadows, while you built your world." Ibrahim's throat tightened. "But Baba, did you not think, in building that world, I needed you more than anything?" The old man's tears spilled freely. Outside, the city roared on, but inside that car, time froze. Ibrahim turned to his men. "Straight to the hospital. Best doctors. Spare nothing. From today, he lives with me." The convoy surged ahead, but Ibrahim was no longer the same man who had sat in silence minutes ago. He looked through the tinted glass at the sky, where clouds drifted lazily. "Power," he murmured, "isn't about commands or fear. Real power is lifting the fallen, protecting the weak. That is leadership." Doctors rushed around, voices crisp and urgent. They examined the old man, their expressions grave. "His condition is fragile," one doctor said, "but there is hope." Ibrahim nodded. "Do everything you must. I'll be here." For the first time, the man known as the city's strongest figure sat in a chair, waiting, praying. No wealth or power could shorten that wait. His father's hand lay in his own, fragile, veins thin as glass. Hours trickled by. Machines beeped steadily. Finally, the old man stirred, eyes flickering open. "Ibrahim," he whispered. "I'm here, Baba." "I'm not leaving again," Ibrahim replied, leaning closer. The old man's words came weak but firm. "Remember this, my son. Wealth fades. Power crumbles. Fame dies. But family remains eternal." Tears streaked down Ibrahim's face. He pressed his father's hand to his forehead. "You're right, Baba. I've conquered everything, but tonight, I've found my true treasure." The camera of fate seemed to pull back, showing the dim hospital room where power, pride, and pain dissolved into something pure, a reunion, a redemption, a rebirth. In the days that followed, Ibrahim's world shifted. Meetings were postponed. Deals delayed. For the first time, he prioritized something greater than power. His men whispered in confusion, some even in disapproval, but Ibrahim no longer cared. He stayed at his father's bedside, listening to fragments of old stories. Memories of a childhood he had half forgotten. Nights when his father had held him close against the cold. Days when hunger was a shadow, but love had been enough. One evening, the old man asked softly, "Do you still remember the little house by the river, Ibrahim?" Ibrahim smiled faintly. "How could I forget? You built it with your own hands." The old man's eyes glistened. "Then promise me, one day, we'll go back. Not as a powerful man and a forgotten father, but as a son and his Baba." Ibrahim clasped his hand tightly. "I promise." Word spread through the city. The invincible Ibrahim was seen sitting quietly in a hospital corridor, holding vigil. Rumors swirled. Some mocked. Others respected. But the truth was clear, the man of power was now a man of heart. And in that shift lay the real story, not of empires, but of bonds, not of wealth, but of love. The city's lights burned brighter than ever. But somewhere in a quiet hospital room, a son rediscovered his father, and a father reclaimed his son. In that fragile reunion lay a lesson the whole city would one day understand. True power is not in ruling others. It is in healing what was once broken.